Vincent Bowman of the Outerhaven Productions live at PAX East. We're at the Devolver Digital booth specifically for Shadow Warrior 2, and we're here speaking with one of the devs, the key dev, Pawel Kowaleski. Pawel, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great since the reception of the game is really, really great so far.
All right, so Shadow Warrior 2 is obviously the sequel to Shadow Warrior, which was a, what type of game was Shadow Warrior initially?
I mean, first of all, our Shadow Warrior that we rebooted in 2013
right.
Was a remake of a 1997 game made by Free Realms.
Right.
So it was a remake, but it maintained the main features of the 1997 title. So it was like a linear shooter with tons of action, violent action.
Yeah.
And both, not only gunplay was important in this game, but the melee weapon as well. So the melee combat was also crucial.
Okay, so Shadow Warrior 2, what's new about Shadow Warrior 2 for people coming into the game, either new or who played both the 97 and the 2013 remake?
Okay, so the core of the game maintained the same. So this is still an old school shooter with very intense action. But what we've changed is that there's a lot more content in the game. So there's 70 weapon types.
Okay.
Both melee and firearms. There's more melee weapons as well.
Nice.
So in the first game we only had katana. Right now we have katana, claws,
right.
Dual swords, dual short blades. So there's plenty of weapons to play with. We have 40 different enemy types.
14 different enemy types.
40.
14?
14.
2 times 7?
Yeah.
All right, that's nice.
I mean 40, 40.
Oh, 2 times 20?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's 40 different enemy types. Now, I know from what I heard, Shadow Warrior, the original one, what I heard and what I know, Shadow Warrior was a very linear type of game. It was linear, you know, it was just one straight path. Now, Shadow Warrior 2, is it still linear or is there more of an open world element to it?
I mean, it's not an open world game, however, the levels are more vast than previously.
Okay.
So there are some missions that are linear, especially like the prologue missions that we have lots of tutorials and stuff like that. But then you get access to the hub area,
right?
From which you take on story missions and side missions as well. And those missions are built from the blocks.
Right.
Each mission is built like from 2 or 3 blocks.
Right.
And they can be randomized. I mean, the position between them can be randomized. The content within them can be randomized. So, for example, one version of the particular level has a lot of buildings and rooftop areas.
Right.
On the other variation of the same level, there might be no buildings at all. There will be like the garden areas with more open areas for intense combat situations.
Okay.
So we want to keep the experience fresh whenever you revisit the same location.
Okay, so a couple other questions. Now, outside of all that new stuff, can players that played the original game come in to this game here, Shadow Warrior 2, or even new players, and just get comfortable with it? Is it a sense of either familiarity or comfort coming into the game? Because I know a lot of people with games like this, especially since Shadow Warrior is a first-person type game. Is there something that where the barrier of entry is? How high is it? How high is the barrier of entry? Is it high? Is it low?
I think there's no entry barrier. I mean, it's, if you haven't played Shadow Warrior before,
right?
The game has actually it's easily accessible.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah. So even our game is also based on melee combat.
Right.
So there are some features that are new in this game. But other features like the ranged combat, the movement, are very similar to any other first-person shooter out there.
Also, so this game is on PC and it's coming to consoles. Obviously, it's keyboard and mouse as well as X input controller of availability. Is there any real difference? What would you recommend if you had to recommend a specific input style to play as? Would you recommend the PC, the keyboard and mouse, or would you say that is just as easy with the X input controllers, like the Xbox One for Windows and such?
Well, I think first of all that depends upon your gaming experience.
Right.
If you are a PC gamer, then obviously the keyboard and mouse is the best recommendation. For me, I'm personally a more console gamer, so I feel more comfortable with the controller. But there are actually no differences, you know.
Oh, there's no difference. All right. So, can you give us some information on when Shadow Warrior will be available, or is it available now?
Well, right now what's available is the demo that we have.
Yeah,
here
the demo
at
we have
PAX,
here,
yeah.
yes. To the consumers, though.
Yeah, and as for the release date, we aim to fall 2016 release date.
Okay, so Q3 around Q3
Yeah.
fiscal year. Okay, that's actually pretty good, and it will be available on PCs, and we don't know. And like you told me earlier,
PC and consoles, but
yeah, we're not sure,
Yeah,
which
we're-
ones, right? But for certain, PCs is coming out on.
yeah, of course.
All right, thank you, Pawel.
Thank you.
I
so much.
appreciate it. Clinton Bowman of the Outerhaven Productions. See you later.